And as you might expect, the Britney fans did not take that lightly, and there appears to be a sense of almost pleasure out of Timberlake's recent misfortune. Even the New York Times is basically calling him a has-been in its coverage of it. So what is going on with Justin? Well, to answer that question, I'm joined right now by Perez Hilton. He may be the internet's most famous gossip columnist. He's the editor-in-chief of PerezHilton.com, which is one of the world's go-to sites for celebrity news. Perez, welcome to the show. So what is going on with JT here?
I think what we're seeing is an ego check. It would not shock me if Justin Timberlake has driven drunk before. It didn't surprise me that his friends weren't more adamant that he not drive. He's been able to, for decades, skate through life and difficult situations because he is Justin Timberlake, because he is rich and good looking and white and a man. And what we've been seeing over the last few years is what used to work for him doesn't work for him anymore, both professionally and personally.
You talked about an ego check. This is number two. Let's put it up here. The police officer who pulled Timberlake over was apparently so young that he didn't even know who the 10-time Grammy Award winner was. This is according to the New York Post. He didn't recognize him or his name. A second source adds that Justin said under his breath, "This is going to ruin the tour." The cop replied, "What tour?" Justin said the world tour. So in terms of his, relevance, particularly among younger people, it's, big issue here. What does he have to do to rehabilitate his image? Because he's not the first celebrity to have kind of a lull in his career or problems with the law.
Well, I'm surprised that he hasn't already released a statement. I'm sure he's listening to the advice of his lawyers, but I know a thing or two about the law. He's most likely going to accept a plea deal. And if that's the case, then it doesn't hurt to release some kind of statement saying, "I acknowledge the severity of this situation, and I humbly request privacy for my children and wife." Just some acknowledgement and a little contrite statement to the world would go a long way. But the fact that he hasn't, it's just indicative of how he's done things for so long. I think this actually, if there's one positive to come out of it, is that all but surely now in 2025, we will get an NSYNC reunion because Justin Timberlake knows that his career needs that uplifting and the positive press and goodwill that reuniting with his former boy band members would bring him.
That's so interesting because you're saying the solo career, while it worked for a while, his best chance is to go back to where he came from.
Correct. And next year would be a great time. It's going to be the 30th anniversary of NSYNC. I think what we're also seeing is the fact that it's incredibly hard, unless you're Taylor Swift or Beyonce, to keep relevant in the pop music world.
Yeah. And look, I agree with you. From a legal perspective, we're talking, about a misdemeanor here? I don't think he's going to face much significant legal consequences, but from the PR perspective, from a career perspective, that's really what's concerning him. Perez Hilton, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.